GTA 5 Online was something we'll never get again, okay? We will never get it again because this was the first time. This was the first time that we were able to do heists online with other people. This was the first time. This was the first time that we could buy our first supercar on an online game, open sandbox in GTA. This was the first time that, we owned an apartment or a house on a Grand Theft Auto game online. You know what I'm saying? This was the first time that we really had a true Grand Theft Auto online experience that wasn't just as simple as GTA 4's online. This was different. This was special. This was nostalgic. This was classic. This was an amazing time to be alive in the gaming industry. When Grand Theft Auto 5 Online came out, there was no flying bikes. Everybody was driving normal cars. People were bad at the game. Everybody was still getting through that learning curve, that special learning curve where everything was brand new. Everything was fresh. Okay? Because in GTA 6, when that comes out, we all have a rough idea of what to expect. It's not really going to be completely brand new. It's not going to be like losing your Grand Theft Auto Online virginity. You know what I'm saying? There was no futuristic weapons. There was no flying bikes. There was no absurd, crazy, vehicles and weapons and things in the game. There were no businesses that you could own. There were no heists in the very beginning. Okay, we had to wait an entire year for Heist to come out. It was pure chaos. It was pure fun. It was just making friends on a brand new game. When you would run around in Grand Theft Auto Online in a normal session, you would come across other players with the microphone and you would hang out. You'd have car shows. You would just goof around. Like nobody had RPGs. Like there was a time where everyone wasn't level 100 or 120. Nobody had an RPG. Nobody had a tank. It was just a different time in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like if you saw somebody with a tank or you saw somebody with a jet, it was like, that was like the craziest thing you could see in the game. That was the craziest experience that you could go through in PvP in GTA 5 Online. There was no Mark II oppressors. There wasn't any of these crazy futuristic vehicles and weapons. Nobody was rich. Nobody was overpowered. Everyone was equal. I still remember the late night sessions with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Just doing missions, laughing at dumb stuff, not really caring about winning, just having a good time. It wasn't about this perpetual grind that GTA 5 Online is now. It was all about just having fun with your friends and just living in the moment and being present like a kid. I mean, there was so much freedom when the game came out, and you wouldn't die every second to an Oppressor Mark II. You could do anything. Like the races. Remember the prison break race where you'd go around the prison and not the prison. You remember the prison race where you'd go around that lap around the prison? Those are some of the most nostalgic moments of my life. And then you would hit somebody's car and they would hit the lamppost, and that would change the whole trajectory of the race. That was the most nostalgic race for me, hands down. And what about the parkour death matches? Remember those where it's like 1 billion RP plus money? You know what I'm saying? Those parkour death matches where you'd be fenced in at the airport. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Where you're fenced in at the airport and you're climbing all these boxes and going over, climbing and jumping through all these obstacles to the top. You're basically parkouring to the sky. And then when you got to the sky, there was all of these RPGs. There was a tank. and a buzzard helicopter and the miniguns and all of these machine guns and sticky bombs and grenades and RPGs. You guys remember those parkour death matches? God, those were good times. Monetization, shark cards, changed Grand Theft Auto 5 Online forever. GTA 5 Online wasn't just a game. It was an era of our lives we'll never get back. GTA 6 might be bigger, but I don't think it'll ever feel like this again. What's your most nostalgic GTA Online memory? When money actually meant something on GTA 5, the whole economy of Grand Theft Auto 5 Online was so different in the beginning of the game. Grinding $200,000 in game felt huge. Buying your first supercar was a milestone. Now everyone has millions instantly in a blink of an eye. Do you guys remember when everyone would buy Zentornos and they would use it? That was like the first armored car, was the Zentorno, the supercar in Zentorno, because it had no back window. So you would drive super fast. It was like the fastest car in the game at the time, or at least one of them. And then you would spin the car around and start reversing, backing up at rooftop rumble and, you know, in free mode sessions. And you would back your car up and shoot out the window and throw a sticky bomb. Because most people didn't use sticky bombs. Most people didn't have an RPG. Most people were just using their gun. Not everyone was skilled at the time. So you could just get in your Zentorno, back it up into a player, and they'd try to shoot you, but they can't shoot you because the car is bulletproof, because there is no back window to shoot you in. God, I love those times. The random lobbies were social. You met strangers naturally. It was so normal. And people weren't, like, you would just accidentally make friends all of the time. Now GTA 5 Online is so toxic. It's like World War III every day, all day in GTA 5. There was no tryhards. Like, there was no tryhard players. You didn't have the people wearing 3 masks and the helmets and all of this glitched modded outfits. Like, it wasn't like how it is now. It's not the same game. And I hope that Grand Theft Auto 6 feels like this, gets that original nostalgic Grand Theft Auto Online 5 experience, but I just don't know if it will. Do you guys remember when failing missions was like the best part? Crashing helicopters, blowing up teammates, like laughing instead of raging. Like when you failed missions, it was funny. It was you were creating memories. Now when you fail a mission, it's like a job. It's like you gotta restart, and it feels like you're wasting your time. It's just not the same. Like everybody was goofing off. Everybody was playing around. There wasn't this pressure to do heist. There wasn't this pressure to start a business and to run around the map doing all these missions. Like everybody on Grand Theft Auto Online now is like working a job. Like you can't even find players that are like having fun now. Like everybody's like, it's either the try hard or you're working a 9 to 5. Like there is no players just goofing off, having fun, going to the clothing store, putting on the mask, robbing convenience stores. It was a different time. Do you guys remember when DLC days felt special? Like they felt like these events. Everybody logged on together. YouTube was flooded with excitement. Now updates feel like routine. It will never be the same, guys. Vehicles weren't just content. Vehicles were the content. Cars weren't just transportation. Each one felt unique. Driving was half the fun. Now when you get a new supercar, when you get a new vehicle in GTA 5 Online, it just feels like rinse and repeat. It's just another car. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't hit the same. I remember when heists, they felt like a movie. Planning mattered. Everyone had a role. The first time experiences were unforgettable. Now when I play a heist, I feel like it's so mundane. Like it's just not fun anymore. It's like a job online in a game. Like, and I don't even make any real life money from it. And let's talk about how Grand Theft Auto 5 was released at the perfect time. There was no TikTok. There was no fear of missing out culture. Gaming was more relaxed. People played for fun, not clout. There wasn't like all of these streamers. It was just a different time in the gaming community and in the YouTube community. It was just a different time in life, in the world, man, in history. It was a special time, and I just want to thank all of you guys, everyone that is from that era. Thank you guys for clicking on this video. Thank you guys for hanging out with me right now, because it was special. It was special. GTA 5 Online, when it first came out, it was escapism. It wasn't a job. Okay, there was no daily objectives pressure, no battle pass mentality. You logged in to relax. This was before GTA Plus. This was before shark cards exploded. I remember at the time I had moved. I was about 13 years old, and I moved to a different school. I hated my new school and all this stuff. I was going through all this stuff online. I was in that middle school phase, and I'd come home every day and I'd get on GTA 5 Online, and that's how I escaped. That's how it made everything okay. And I know that's not healthy, but it was for me at the time. I didn't have the right tools and resources. So when I played GTA 5 Online, it was like therapy to me. I know that might sound crazy. It might sound sad, right? But it was like the father I never had. I'm just kidding, but it is kind of true. When GTA 5 Online came out, that first year, that first 2 years, you didn't feel left behind. You know what I'm saying? You didn't feel like you didn't have this car. You didn't feel like you didn't have all this different stuff. You didn't feel that grind, that nonstop, perpetual grind that you have to participate now on GTA 5 Online. And friend groups were stronger. One game everyone owned was GTA 5 Online. Okay, there wasn't a bunch of players fragmented across 10 different games. Everybody played GTA 5 Online. Like, there wasn't as many games as there is now. There wasn't all these. It's just not the same. Why we will always compare games to GTA 5? Because it set the standard for online freedom. Okay? The social chaos, the longevity. It was lightning in a bottle. The right game, the right time, the right culture, impossible to recreate. We didn't know how good we had it. Now I say that, but I knew how good it was. That's why when I saw Expert Thief on YouTube, this is how I knew I was going to buy this game. I went over to my cousin's house when I was about 12 or 13, and I saw him playing this single player game called Grand Theft Auto 5. And I was like, that game looks pretty good. I'm going to go look it up. So I got home, I got on my computer, and I typed in Grand Theft Auto 5 on YouTube. And I came across an Expert Thief video. And it was like him in a supercar, driving on the highway, chasing players, bounty hunting. And that's how I knew I was going to play Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. So I instantly asked my mom or my brother or somebody for this game, and they got the game for me, and I was so excited. It was the best experience I've ever had on a game before. We missed the era, not just the game. GTA 6 won't feel the same, and that's okay. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to create its own lane, its own nostalgia, its own memories, its own time and period in history. It's going to be amazing, guys. Do you guys remember Rockets versus Insurgents? That changed gaming. Like, Grand Theft Auto wasn't just an online shoot 'em up game. It was now you had thousands and thousands of games within GTA 5. Like parkour. Those parkour death matches I mentioned. The last team standings. where you could do the rockets versus insurgents? Or what about the snipers versus cars, snipers versus Zentornos, right? Remember that? Where everybody would hit the ramps and you'd shoot them with a sniper rifle, or you'd shoot them with an RPG. These were the most nostalgic, wonderful times of GTA 5 Online. And what about, this came out a couple years later, but the last team standing, hole, that's what it was called, where you're up in the sky and there's basically a funnel, and you'd go around in these trucks and you try to knock everyone down in the funnel. And then we inspired all of these. And then Rockstar, because Rockstar saw what we were doing with the game, all of the creations that we made within the game, they started dropping adversary modes. They started dropping sumo, hide and seek, every bullet counts, all of these different game modes. And it's all because we led the charge, we led the battle, and Rockstar picked up the pieces. Car chases were fun. Stealing cars, stealing helicopters, having shootouts with the police in GTA was so fun in the beginning. Now it feels mundane. The police feel robotic. It's just a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same as when GTA 5 came out. And there are mods. There are ways to play the original Grand Theft Auto 5 online through a PS3, but you need a PS3, and I think you have to do something to your PS3. But you can go relive Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and it basically stopped when the heist came out, I think, pretty much. So that's super cool, and I'm gonna have to do that, guys, and you guys should too. The best thing about Grand Theft Auto 5 online when it came out was that it didn't feel like a game. It felt like a world you lived in. I remember when I would just drive around a session and just pull up to random players, pick them up. We would just cruise around Los Santos and we would just shoot out the window. We would go to the clothing store. We'd go to the mask store. People would hang out with you in your apartment. People would go into your garage and check out all of your cars. You would honk. You'd spin tires. You'd create chaos. And then somebody would steal a jet from the military base. Like people would die like 15 times in a row trying to get a jet from the military base. Like people, you had to work for it. And I remember thinking when I first started, I remember this. When I first started and people would have a jet, I would go try to get my own jet and I would die every time. And I would think, wow, that player is really good because I can't get a jet. Like I could never get a jet. Like now I can go in there first time and get the jet. But when I first started, I could not get that jet. I remember when a Buzzard helicopter was like the second best vehicle in the game. Like you could actually take out a tank. It was the jet, then the Buzzard, then the tank. Like that was it. You didn't have the flying oppressor. You didn't have the Hydra. You didn't have all of these other. You didn't have the homing launcher. You didn't have all of this different stuff that changed the whole dynamic of the game. It swayed everything. Everything is different now. Yeah, man, I just remember saving up for that Zentorno, that Entity. You guys remember the Entity? Okay, Entity XF, the Adder, all these different cars, man. They're all so nostalgic. It was such a special time. And there's no car in the game that drives like the Bugatti, the Adder. And remember, it was $1 million. It was so hard to get $1 million back then because you would only make, like 10, 20, maybe $30,000 if you're lucky from those simple contact missions. Do you guys remember Coveted? Where you'd spawn on this mountain near the cove and you would have to snipe all of these guys, and then you'd steal this helicopter, and then you'd pick up this shipping container, and then you would go fly it to Los Santos. Those were the days. That mission didn't feel mundane. That mission felt like it felt good. Like it felt fun. It felt like the best moments of GTA 5 Online was that mission. Rooftop Rumble. The races around the prison. I still remember all of the missions that were in like Michael's house, the death matches in Michael's house and Trevor's house and, you know, Lester's house and Franklin's house and Trevor's trailer or whatever. So yeah, man, I remember all those missions. And you would have missions where you'd have guns inside those houses, those single player characters' houses. But then I remember I got into creator mode and I had so many tricks up my sleeve and I had to learn. I had to like create all of these, I had to find all these bugs basically to even get into Lester's house, to even get into Michael's house, to get into Franklin's house, to get into Franklin's aunt's house, and to get into Harvey's house. Remember that janitor from Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode? There was a house that Harvey had, and he was a janitor for the FIB or the IAA building, the FIB building, and you could make a mission inside of his house. So I made a melee mission where you could only use your hands, so you'd punch each other. So I remember, you remember the ring fight? I think that came out later, but God, man. I mean, remember the torture room with Trevor? I created a death match in there. I created death matches, melee death matches in all of them. You could turn the guns on if you wanted, but I made melee death matches in all of the interiors because everybody was making death matches and game modes or whatever in all of the single player and all the interiors of the game, but nobody was making melee death matches. So I was working on that. Do you guys remember snipers versus runners? That was so fun. Or snipers versus runners, where you'd run and you'd hide behind all of these different obstacles and they would try to snipe you. Or do you guys remember what was it, runners versus Zentornos? So the Zentornos or the supercars, they would ramp up and try to hit the runners that were parkouring going down this lane, this obstacle course. And yeah, man, runners versus Zentornos, runners versus snipers, RPGs versus insurgents. God, man, these were really good times. Do you guys remember that death match? Nobody plays this anymore. It's been about 10, 13. It's been so long. It's been like 11 years since anyone played this. There was this death match in the sky, right? And at the top of the sky, at the very high, the ceiling of the sky in GTA 5 Online, there's this death match where you'd spawn on top of these cabins, these shipping containers, the white ones, and like the office shipping containers, and you would jump down and you'd land on about 20 different white shipping containers, and that was like the biggest melee death match. Like sometimes people used guns and stuff too, but you would jump off this cabin and like 2 stories high, and you would land and roll, and then you would just start beating all of each other up, man. That was like my favorite mission. If I got back on GTA 5 Online again, that would be the mission that I want to play so bad. I need to recreate that mission. I wish I could find it. Oh man, God, those are good times. But yeah, man, GTA 5 was something we'll never get again. And, you know, we might have all of these different things that come back, but the thing is, there'll never be that first time that we had GTA 5 Online. In Los Santos, guys. GTA 6 is going to be in Miami. It's a new city, a new vibe, new graphics, new everything. And we don't know for sure if GTA 6 is going to start out with Oppressor Mark IIs. We don't know if it's going to start out with all of these futuristic vehicles and weapons, and you know what I'm saying? I hope that when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, that they don't make it like they don't have all of this extra stuff. I want them to drop GTA 6 Online with like the bare minimum like GTA 5. Now I know they're not going to do that exactly per se, but I want them to get close to it. Like I need them to have that real, like that feeling that we had in GTA 5 Online, where we didn't have all this different stuff, where we had to grind, and all this different stuff. It was fun. It was nostalgic. It was good time. It was a good time to play GTA 5 Online. Most people today, they will agree that GTA 5 Online is extremely toxic and extremely, like a job. Like it's like a job now, man. GTA 5 Online is not the same game that I played 12 years ago. It's just not. GTA 5 Online is not the same game that I played 12 years ago. GTA 5 Online was something we'll never get again. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave in the comments what was the most nostalgic memory or mission or experience that you had in GTA 5 Online. Please let me know. I really do want to know. I'm not just saying that as a YouTuber. I want to know what was nostalgic for you. What was a long-lasting memory? What you loved the most about GTA 5 Online, them first 1 to 2 years of GTA 5 Online, or those first couple months. I wasn't even there the first 2 months. Okay, I joined GTA 5 month 3. Okay? I wasn't there the first 2 months. Like, I remember those nostalgic times when I would go into the clothing store and I would shop and I would try to make all these different cool looking outfits and pair things together, and I would watch Saints Fan on YouTube back before everybody hated him and everybody liked him at the time. And I'd watch Saints Fan, and he would make an outfit of the week video. Every week he would make a new outfit. He'd drop an outfit video, the top 10 outfits, and people would, they would upload their outfits to Saints Fan, and he would put it in their videos. And also, do you guys remember the videos online where, like, the stunts of the week, outfits of the week, all of these different things, man? It was such a good time, man. I remember going in the clothing store for the first time, going into ammunition the first couple times, going to the mask store and getting that Pogo monkey mask. God, I love that mask. And, wow, what a good time, man. What a good time. Then going to the barber shop, like, everything was fresh. It was new. It was rewarding. Everything felt so rewarding and fun. GTA 5 Online was something we'll never get again, okay? We will never get it again because this was the first time that we were able to do heists online with other people. But yes, let me know what was the most nostalgic part of GTA 5 Online for you guys. I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. It's your boy Zebby. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.